All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome to episode one of Road to 100K with a one-person business. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy to say that out loud. It's definitely nerve-wracking, but this is the start of my completely raw, completely unfiltered, unpolished documentation series that will hopefully show every single thing I do to basically build my one-person business from the ground up. Because it's simple. That's my goal right now. Like my goal over the course of the next 8 months, by the end of the year, is to build a one-person business completely by myself using AI that will hopefully generate me six figures by the end of the year. And I want to use this series as a way to just document the entire process for myself, to hopefully look back on and watch myself do this entire thing, and I think it'll also be cool for you guys as well to kind of see this process evolve in real time. Because, if I'm being honest, I've seen this process happen multiple times already. I've worked inside of multiple businesses that have gone from nothing to making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year using this model of the one person business. Like when I first got started, I was working with this guy, Trevor, and I was just doing copywriting at the time. And we built his business from zero to like $15,000 a month in just 3 months. And then when I stopped working with Trevor and moved on to my next guy, KJ, when I came in, his business was making $70,000 a month, using this model. So hopefully that kind of just shows the power of like the model that we're working here. But for a lot of reasons over the last couple months, I've been like in between seasons of online business, and I've taken a lot of time to reflect on things and just really think about like what it was that I wanted to do next. And, just like what was the thing that was going to like that I want to wake up and do every single day that I also think can help change the most lives and set me up with freedom as well. Like selfishly, I want to change as many lives as I can, but I also want to be like free. I want to enjoy life as well. And the one thing that I kept coming back to is the idea of this one person business, just because that's where all my skill sets is. And that's kind of what I want to do. And it's finally time for me to do it myself. So what I want to do is I want to jump over to my laptop, because what I want to do with this series is I want to do monthly update videos where I come on and I basically come onto my dashboard here, where I'm keeping track of all of my plans, all of my strategies that I'm using, and really just using it as like a home base to track every single thing that I do each month to build this business for myself. It's going to show all my successes, all my failures, all of my lessons learned. I think it's just going to be a super cool, like evolving, basically this is where my business is going to live. And I want to just document that each month to show you guys the process. So let's kind of jump over to my laptop and open that up. Super pumped. All right, so now we are over here on the laptop. Welcome back again to Road to 100K with the one person business. As I said before, my goal is to make $100,000 by the end of 2026 selling products or services that actually change lives to my organically built audience. This is episode 1, April 2026. So what am I going to kind of cover in this dashboard? So it's made up of 5 sections. First, we're going to go over the roadmap. Like what is the actual plan over the next 8 months? How the heck am I going to go from nothing to, hopefully generating $100,000 in revenue? So that's going to be section 1. Section 2 is then going to be the April recap. So every month, section 2 is going to be me recapping the previous month and talking about every single thing I did. What did I plan on doing? What actually worked? What ended up getting done? What went well? What didn't go well? Then in section 3, we will then move on to the upcoming month, right? So for this video, we're going to talk about the May high leverage activities, and what's my plan for the month of May, kind of outline everything going on there. Then we'll move on to section 4, where we go through the skills and lessons log. So this is going to be essentially a running log of every skill I feel like I've acquired and every major lesson I feel like I have learned. I think this is going to be honestly one of the coolest things to look at, because even in 8 months from now, if I don't make $100,000 with this one person business, I will have this log of everything that I have learned and done, which will be valuable to me in the future. So yeah, I think this is going to be super cool. And then section 5, we have the revenue tracker. I think this is low-key going to be like the coolest part. This is going to be where every single month I come in and I just transparently show you guys how much money I made with my products. And yeah, I'm really excited to show you what I've done here. I've cooked up this like sick formula and super cool stuff that actually will track everything. So I'm excited. But anyway, let's kind of move on to section 1. So the roadmap, right? This is my high level plan overview. You can see here, like this, here's where we are now. And here's going to be the next 8 months. Now, before I click to, actually reveal the entire roadmap of like everything that I'm doing, I want to emphasize this main point, right? Which is, there are a million ways to make $1 million. There genuinely are. And there are obviously a certain set of skills that you kind of need in all of those methods, right? You need to have focus, you need to have clarity, you need to just be like smart and stuff like that. You need to be disciplined, have a good mindset. But once it's time to actually pick the method that you're going to use to make that $1 million, there's a million ways to do it. But there's a but coming. And the but is like, I have seen a lot of those different ways, but in my opinion, there's honestly no better way to achieve this insane amount of leverage, have such a profound sense of fulfillment, and also have the insane amount of lifestyle freedom that the one person business can give you. Without sounding corny, like this to me genuinely is like the golden star. Like if there's one business model that, it's hard, it's very hard. There's lots of things that you need to learn and do, but I do think that there's only one thing that can give you all of those things, and it's the one person business model. So that's kind of why I chose this model. And this is what it kind of looks like. This is what, if you actually sit down, if you analyze all of the people that have done this business model, this is what the roadmap looks like. And this is kind of what I planned out for myself. So the first thing we're going to be doing is our focus foundation. As I said, like you cannot build a business if you are not 1000% locked in every hour of the day, tracking your focus. And for me, a huge part of this is tracking content consumed versus content created. Like right now, if I put them on a scale, my content consumption as of like 2 weeks ago was way up here, and my content creation was way down here, and I need to flip that. So something that I'm going to be doing from now until throughout the rest of the year is tracking everything, tracking hours of deep work, hours spent focused on certain tasks, hours spent consuming versus creating, and that will hopefully keep me moving a lot faster than if I wasn't tracking that. So that's going to be the first major thing. Then, as you can see by me recording this YouTube video right now, the next thing that we will be starting now throughout the entire month of May is content creation. I plan on doing 2 YouTube videos a week, and I plan on doing 30 Instagram videos a month. So daily Instagram videos, 2 YouTube videos a week. And the whole point of this is essentially to build my reps and to find my voice. The bread and butter of any one person business has to come down to content creation, right? Like if you cannot build an audience, I will have nothing to sell to people. So that's why this comes first. It's like, I don't even care if any of this stuff gets views. I need to be practicing this stuff every single freaking day. And that's the plan for content creation. Once we start getting the content ball rolling, the next step is usually like talking to your audience and trying to actually get to a spot where you own that audience, right? There's a massive difference between having thousands of followers on Instagram, thousands of followers on YouTube, but then not actually talking to them and creating relationships, seeing what they need. How can I help them? So that's kind of what I start to plan on doing in the month of June, is like once I start making this content, I've already done this. I posted 1 YouTube video, and I've already started getting DMs, just people checking in, being like, oh, I'm excited to see you back. Once I start doing this for a couple months and I keep iterating on my content, making it better, there's going to be a lot of people that are reaching out, probably asking for help. This is always what happens, right? And where a lot of people go wrong is they start to try to like sell something in their content, like super early on. But this is like it's not the way to do it at all. The way to do it is you essentially start all of these conversations kind of behind the scenes in the DMs, only like warm leads essentially that reach out to me. Then, you know, like 2-3 months down the road, I start to kind of see like what these people need. Do people want me to help them? Do they want kind of a one-on-one mentorship with whatever the heck it is that I'm talking about? Maybe I create like a small little Discord community or like a school group where I just let people join, I give them a bunch of free value, and then, you know, if people DM me, I say, hey, by the way, I have a little bit extra time, I can do some one-on-one coaching or different things like that. So that's kind of what we start leading out to in July, you know, quiet launch of like a product or something in a community. Obviously towards August is when we'll really start to own the audience, actually build my first Discord community, my school group or something. And maybe this looks something like a 30-day challenge. You know, it's like a $30 a month, learn how to XYZ, and we'll do something like that. And then finally, the second half of the year is really where we take all of the data. You know, if I've been doing a little bit of one-on-one coaching, helping people out for free, I really start to see what it is that people need from me, and I use all of that info to build a specific offer that I will then do like a formal launch. You know, hopefully I have a couple hundred, if not like a couple thousand subscribers, a couple thousand followers on Instagram. Honestly, probably a lot less, but this is like where I'll do launch I'll build my first offer and I'll make my first launch. And then we kind of just keep iterating on that throughout the rest of the year. So without going super in detail, this is kind of the general roadmap for what a one-person business looks like. It's all about, you know, step 1 is creating content. Step 2 is like owning your audience. Step 3 is kind of selling a non-defined offer to that audience. And then step 4 is then crafting your own specific offer that you hard launch to your entire audience. So I'm excited. That's kind of the roadmap that I kind of see for the next couple of years. So let's kind of just move into section 2 here. Where am I at right now? So section 2, the April recap. We are in month 0. So what I'm going to be doing every month moving forward is like over here, I will put what I had planned out to do for the month. And then I will come in here at the end of the month and show what I've actually done. So unfortunately for the month of April, I had no plans. As of 3 weeks ago, you know, I had all of these thoughts in my head about the one-person business that I might start, what type of content I want to start making, blah, blah, blah. But I never actually had like a formal plan. So really the only thing that I've done this month is I did get my first YouTube video posted that hopefully you guys watched a couple days ago. So to finally just get the content ball rolling. But really the major thing that I did was I decided like I needed to get back my focus. Like I said, this is like the core of every business. If you do not have focus and you are not generating unique ideas, there will be no business. So I deleted all my social media from my phone, and I also installed a cold turkey Chrome extension blocker. So essentially, like literally if I were to go into my browser right now and try to go on Instagram, it doesn't let me. There's like physically no way for me to do this on my laptop unless I like donate to charity, which is actually super cool. I have to donate $5 to charity if I really need to get on Instagram. I think that's why this ad blocker is like super sick. So yeah, that's kind of what we've done for focus. In the next month, I'm going to be like tracking and starting to do all that, but this is what we've done for now. And then as far as like my learning inputs, right? What is it that I'm learning? How am I getting better? What skills am I acquiring? I did start Dan Co's $14 or 14-day content system course. So I'm in progress with this. It was like a $250 course or whatever. So low ticket, but it's been super helpful as far as teaching me the different frameworks and different processes that he uses to go from completely unique idea in my own head to taking that idea, fleshing it out, and then pairing it with kind of a common idea that already exists in the market, and then kind of using that and putting it into a content framework, like a proven framework that is known to, hook viewers, attract viewers, retain viewers throughout the length of the video. So I'm just learning how to do all of that right now. And then, so that's super exciting. And then I also started reading one of Dan's books called The Art of Focus, which has honestly been teaching me so much about, again, just like how important it is to eliminate every distraction. Like you will never achieve anything you want if you are distracted, whether that be business, whether that be socially, whether that be with your health goals, anything. So that's kind of what I've been doing throughout this month. And, it's April 23rd as I'm recording this. So I probably will throw in a couple more things here throughout the end of the month. I built my first YouTube video documentation series, Road to 100K. So there's a lot of other stuff coming here. So I'm excited. But something else that we'll be doing in this section as well is we will be tracking all of my metrics. So once I start posting YouTube videos, posting Instagram videos, I will be coming in here and adding those and basically showing like what videos did well, what videos didn't, and the things that I'm learning from each one as I'm iterating on the process. But what I think is so sick, I built all of this with AI, by the way. I'm not gonna fully reveal how I did it, but I literally built this all with AI. Check this out. If I click here, we will see where I'm starting from. So these numbers will come in and update every single month. This is like a live tracker. So right now, as I'm recording this, I have 241 YouTube subscribers. I also have, wait for it, 982 Instagram followers. So, just to show that's where I'm starting from. I also have 1 long form video posted and 0 short form posted so far. So this is going to be so sick to kind of see. I'll probably add in more metrics as I start tracking more things. But yeah, this is the baseline for where we're starting. And then last thing I have down here is like the theme of the month. So the theme of April for me has pretty much been getting back on the train. I'm removing all distractions to clear my mind and focus on developing the macro plan. So I would say I'm doing pretty well so far. I have some stuff I'm creating. Next section is going to be then the May high leverage activities. So what the heck is it I'm going to be focusing on for the month of May to actually get this business up and running? So first thing is going to be dialing my focus, as I kind of talked about before. So the goal of the month is to build real accountability around where my time and attention actually go. So this is, again, like I said, tracking my screen time, my hours of deep work, and then most importantly, the ratio of consumption to creation every single day. Enough said, right? Focus is the foundation of everything else is built on. So what I really plan on doing is building some form of Notion database where I'm tracking everything and making sure I'm on track, so you can see like what it actually takes to compare. If I start succeeding in 2 months, I have the receipts to be like, no, I actually spent 12 hours today fully locked in. And you can kind of start to see what it will take, because that is what it takes. The next thing I'll be focusing on is my idea capture and content frameworks. So the work in May is going to be around, building a daily habit of capturing raw thoughts, sitting with them, and then learning how to shape them into content frameworks that actually hold an audience's attention. Example, like a hook, problem, and then payoff type of video. So the goal here is really to just get sharper at like turning my lived experience into arguments that are worth watching and things that are actually helpful to my audience, because that's what's going to get people to keep watching. So we're going to be focusing on that. And then the last high leverage activity is going to be to just post consistently, right? It's going to be to get used to being in front of the camera, articulating my written out thoughts and ideas, and then pretty much then polishing those videos up in post. So learning how to edit the way I want to edit, do my thumbnails. As I said, this is going to be a one-person business. Thankfully, again, with AI, I think I can really do almost all of this on my own up to the level of quality that I want. So that's the plan. We're going to be doing 2 YouTube videos a week and 1 Instagram reel a day to kind of start building both audience ecosystems. We have this chart down here as well, so this will kind of just show my actual May commitments, right? So as far as the focus, we're going to be tracking daily screen time every day, track hours of deep work versus consumption daily, and then short form scrolling. The cold turkey blocker always stays on. And then at the end of this month, at the end of May, I will come in and update everything so it will look more like this chart up here. So this is freaking sick. Then as far as the ideas and the frameworks, I plan on doing like a daily idea capture session where I'm going to be fleshing out 5 brand new novel ideas every single day that I will then start to turn into my content that you guys will start hearing me talk about. I'm going to complete Danco's 14-day content system course, and then I'm also going to build like a content framework system for multiple types of videos. This is honestly probably going to be the most important thing of the month, because essentially what I want to do is I want to figure out my process from taking the ideas to expanding on those ideas and then putting them into content. That's going to be like the core of my business for the next couple months, and I need to get really good at this and efficient at this. So yeah, I don't really know exactly what this looks like yet. I want to maybe build another Notion database or some way for me to go from idea to video in record time, as fast as possible. And these need to be good too. The thing is, like, AI can't do these. AI can maybe help me flesh out an idea once I already have it and find like supporting arguments to help make it better. But I think a huge problem is a lot of people will rely on this heavily, will rely on AI heavily at the start for this. And it's backwards. Like, everything in your content has to be fully authentic to you as a person and you as your brand. Otherwise, people will see right through that. So this is like, by far, I should put like a star here. This is the most important thing I'll be working on. And then the last part, right, is the content output. So like I said before, I'm going to be doing 2 YouTube videos per week. So 8 total for the month of May, and then 1 Instagram reel a day. So 30 or 31, however many days are in May. So we will see hopefully how I do with that. This section, I have not put anything in yet, right? This is going to be section 4, my skills and lessons log. So all of the skills that I feel like I have learned and all of the lessons I feel like I have learned, I'm going to be throwing into here. So like at the end of every month, I will come through and talk through those in depth, because this is going to be like the most important part for you guys to see, like, hopefully to skip some of these like hard lessons that I learned from actually doing this. Obviously, like, I have a lot of skills already, you know, like I can copyright, I can take sales calls. I generally know how to build funnels, make different types of content, this or that. But in reality, like, I haven't mastered any of those things yet. And I'm honestly not counting any of those because they haven't been specific to my own business. I also kind of believe that you can't really build any skills in less than a month. You know, like, if I'm not working on something consistently for more than a month, like, I have not come even close to mastering that skill yet. So that's kind of why I haven't put anything here yet. But hopefully at the end of May, I will have some stuff to report in this section, because this is going to be super important. Now, kind of just finishing things out. I feel like I like ran through this video, but I don't know. I was just like so excited to get this out. I haven't really learned how to do like a teaching style, like showing style type of YouTube video yet. So I don't know, we'll see. I think it's going all right if you're still watching. But the last section is going to be the revenue tracker. So this is so freaking sick. So every month, I mean, you'll see here, I will come in and I will update where I'm at, how much money I made that last month, so you can kind of see if I'm trending on the line that I should be trending on. So if I click this, we will have the countdown, and there we are, we're at $0. I haven't made any money yet with my business, which is totally okay. The money, is always what comes second, which I honestly think is another massive problem or massive mistake a lot of people make, is they go for the money first. But the money will come exponentially if you focus first on the things that matter, like building an audience of people that trust you, solving real problems in your own life that other people need help solving eventually. Because the money and the offer comes naturally. Like once you build an audience, people will tell you what they need help with, and then you basically just build that and then charge for it. So I'm not worried at all. This is the thing that comes later in the business. But what's really cool is I actually sat down for like a couple hours with AI and did a lot of research on the one-person business, and talked a lot about like realistic timeframes, realistic revenue expectations on how much money I think I should be making each month if I really want to hit this goal of mine by making 100K by the end of the year. And we came up with this graph. So if I come in here, you'll see like April, this is like what's going to be my projected revenue over the next 8 months. So we have April, I'm not supposed to make anything. In May, I'm also not supposed to make anything. This is just going to be making content and dialing in my skills. In June, hopefully, is where I make my first little back end consulting or coaching deal. Maybe make like $1,500 this month. Then July, I basically do that again, but for like 2 or 3 more people. So now we're at $5,500 a month. In August, I maybe do that with a couple more people, start to charge a little bit more because I have some experience. So hopefully by August, we hit the glorious 10K a month mark. And then pretty much then it's just going to be like doubling from there. So from August to September, take on even more clients, get ourselves up to like $25,000 a month. This is total. So in August, between August and September is when we actually make $13,000 that month. So that's when we cross the 10K threshold. From September to October, we make another 20 grand or so, make another 20 grand. And then the last month is where we hopefully go crazy and launch like a formal product or a formal low ticket offer or something, and kind of go from there. So that's kind of the exponential curve. And honestly, like it's ambitious, but this is super realistic. Like I haven't done this myself. I haven't built an audience myself. I haven't built a product myself, but I've basically done it holding other people's hands like 3 times, or like really twice. But I've seen everything that can happen. I've seen what can go wrong. I've seen the best strategies that can be used. So I just haven't done it myself. So really like this, what this graph comes down to is if I work hard every single day, because I have all of the knowledge up here. I just kind of need to put it out on into the world. So we shall see. I think I will kind of wrap things up there. This is episode 1 of Road to 100K with a one-person business. This will the next video of this series will be at the end of May, kind of tracking how well I did for the month. So yeah, hopefully if future Griff is watching this, I lock in and I start to hit a lot of my goals and see where this goes. So tune in next month to kind of see what happened in the month of May. And hopefully this kind of gives you like a good inside look into kind of what I'm going to be working on. So with that, peace out, and I will see you all in the next video.